tell me, how did the idea brainstorming go?
It was a bit non-specific, actually. I've got probably more channels for what we were talking about yesterday. It's on my computer. I just realised, not in my notebook. Multiple streams of income. So yeah. I've got ideas of, like I was talking about last night with the Pinterest thing, and then blogging with from personal experience and that sort of thing. But not like a blog about bees or whatever. I know that's the first thing came to my mind. I don't know about bees. But you know what I mean? Like
the bees have come up today in my conversations.
Really? Yeah. That's so weird.
I'm talking to someone who does have a bee farm.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so that's what I mean by non-specific. I'm like, okay, well, blogging, but then what would I blog about? Or speaking engagements, what would I speak about? If I did an ebook, what would I do the book about? That, like, that's what's it about is sort of where I'm finding myself feeling stuck, feeling like, oh, what next sort of thing.
No. So did you start the passion list, the things that you love?
Yeah, I'm like at about, probably like 10.
Yeah.
12. Like the super obvious ones, like dancing straight up first. Yeah, the super obvious ones. I'm looking around home going,
what else do I love?
What have I got around here So yeah, well below the 200 so far.
It's all right. You'll get there.
Yeah.
Have you come up with your worst idea yet?
Yeah. I don't think I have. Although I did list as probably the worst idea for earning money anyway. One of the things, I'm like, well, she said 200 things I love or I'm good at and enjoy. And I'm like, sleeping in. so I wrote sleeping in. Probably not an earner for me, but.
Not necessarily. I did see in a group that I'm in that there is a job for sleeping, and there's such a thing as bed testers. So you just never know.
There you go. Woo. Yeah, so there you go.
Awesome.
Lucky I wrote it then.
See, not the worst idea.
Right.
That's good. So you've gone more down the path. You've got more ideas of that, almost like the how part, like how you might earn money, but you're still not sure on the what.
You've just cut out there for a second. I'm going to take a video. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's possibly better. So I was just saying that you've worked out a lot of the how you might make money, but don't necessarily know the what. That's okay.
Yeah.
We've got the why, we've got the how, now we just need the what.
Yeah. Actually, I started reading one of Jay Abraham, something about the Motherload of Wealth or something like that, I think it was called. I started reading last night. I found it on Google. So I haven't quite finished that, but I've been flicking through that as well.
You'll have a bazillion ideas on the how to earn money.
Okay.
So today we're going to have a look at a couple more ways to come up with ideas. Then we'll add some filters so that you can start to cull them down as well. So maybe with these two ways might sit with you a bit better than the other two ways. So you just never know. The ideas will come up anywhere. Did you ask anyone else about the frustration?
No, I couldn't even work one out for myself. I was like, when was the last time I was so frustrated that I wanted to punch someone in the face? I'm like, my general frustration at the moment is lack of security. So lack of financial security, lack of job security, which kind of ties in. I feel a bit insecure about where I'm living at the moment. Excuse me, because my neighbour has just been told that she has to move out because they want to refurb and take up the rent where she is. So that is sort of, but that's not like a punch in the face frustration to me. That's like a chronic frustration. Like it's
more than a frustration.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm that's kind of, although I feel frustrated as well, because I feel like I feel like I should be further along than I am. Because, you know, I'm like, oh man, I've so many things I've gone through and like different situations, and some of them have been quite shit, to be quite honest. And I'm like, how am I still only in this situation, you know? Like, how am I still here? Like, so that's, yeah, that's been
lesson. This is a side lesson, but it's a lesson for everyone, is that you need to love where you are right now and look at all those things that you've gone to get you in this spot right now, and have a look at all the amazing stuff that you do have. So you do have a roof over your head, even though you're a bit insecure. You do have a passion that you love. You know, you've got dancing. Like, look at all the things in your life at the moment that are good and are benefiting you, and love where you are now. Otherwise, it's going to be a real struggle to move forward.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a bit deep for the idea incubator, but it's just how I roll. Can't give you the ideas and then not give you the tools on how to do it.
Yeah, that's
right. Yes. So, oh well, never mind. Maybe ask on Facebook, see if anyone has gotten frustrated about something recently.
Yeah.
I think I have. Only postage. Postage is still another one. Happened again today.
Oh, yes. Oh my God, that's such a good one. We'll talk about that last night. Yes, that one. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, definitely that one for me.
Yeah.
I was so angry.
See?
Been and gone, but I was so angry.
So the game and a brainstorming session for ideas tonight. And the game is a bit of fun. So I've actually not played it. I tell people to play it, but I haven't done it myself because I haven't needed to get an idea like this. But if you are thinking about a product, it's called a mix and match game. So you take a friend into a department store, so like Target or Kmart or David Jones somewhere, Walmart for those in the US, and you both go and grab two random things. So go to different aisles and grab two random things, come back and put them together and see if they make a product. So it could be like Barbie doll and a fishing net. Barbie. Is Barbie a product? maybe not. Try again. Now that was sort of one that I've been told to do, but I changed it a little bit because I'm not really a product-based person, although I am in e-commerce, but it's dropshipping. However, I thought that the better way to play it would be like go through your Facebook feed as your ads come up and see what's being advertised and see if those two things go together. Because if you're a service or you want to provide a service, a supermarket's not going to help you, but those sorts of things might. So you might have an ad for, I don't know, product, and then a webinar. It's like, well, how do I put those two things together? What can I do?
Yeah.
Interests me. What can I do?
Okay.
That bringing two strange things together and seeing if they match.
So we're saying two random ads from Facebook. Oh, sorry, my phone just did something weird, but you're still there, so it's okay.
So two random anything. It's got your bandwidth is low, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Is that what it's saying?
Yeah.
Band is low? Okay.
Mine's be cutting in.
Okay, yeah, a little bit for you too, actually. I'll see if I can see what my... I will see how we go.
So two random ads anywhere, like whenever you're around on the internet and YouTube, wherever. Just pay attention to the ads and see if any of them sort of match together and could possibly be a product that someone hasn't thought of before or a service.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. All right. Cool.
So that's the mix and match game, and then the other game it's not a game. It's a good old brainstorm. Best played with a glass of wine, I think. And it's to answer these questions. To answer these questions, and write them down. It is, what would you pay for if it was available? So a good example of this is I don't love cooking. I don't hate it, but I don't love cooking for one. And I just thought if someone could just cook for me, just come into my house and cook for me, I would pay them to do it. And so I did that. And I had but I did it. So you know, if that's someone else, and now that I see, because I'm plant-based, I now see that there's starting to be food service and food prep companies, like those food delivery services, are starting to specialize in food. So it's a new market that someone had obviously thought, I'd pay for that. And
okay.
What do your friends want but can't find? So if you've had a conversation with your friends and like, oh, I really think there should be a blah, blah, blah. What is that? And is it something that you could be interested in?
So what do my friends want but couldn't find?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
What could you do better or differently than an existing organisation? You got that down?
Just about, yeah. I should have learnt shorthand.
No way, it's definitely a dead skill. What could you do better or differently than existing organisations?
Yep. Okay, got that.
Are any of your hobbies worth anything to anyone else?
Well, we just learned that my sleeping in might be.
Yeah, it could be a thing.
I don't know if I'd call it a hobby though.
So think like just even in the last couple of years, like the colouring in books, they went for adults.
Yeah, that's true.
That wasn't a thing, and someone decided that was their hobby, and so they created one, and it went gangbusters.
Yeah, that's true.
So just think about it. So those little quirky things that you do, other people probably do it too, and are looking for a solution to how they can do that more effectively. They can do it easily, more easily, or have more information on it. And that's what Pinterest is good for, you know, sharing all that information.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all my questions. So what would you pay for if it was available? What do your friends want but can't find? What could you do better or differently than existing organisations? And are any of your hobbies worth anything to anyone else? I think between those questions and the 200 passion list, you should really be able to find the what to your how.
Yeah, okay.
Because ways to make money are actually very easy. There's so many ways to make money. It's just a matter of finding a way that you love so it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah. That's what I think it must be. There's got to be a better way than going to the daily grind in a job that I know I'm overskilled for and underpaid for. There's just got to be a better way.
Yes. 100,000%, yes. I think I said this on the first day, but I'll say it again, that the stress that I had when I was working is 10 times worse than the stress that I have in my own business. And I think it's because the only reason I've decided that is that even though, yes, it's hard and there's challenges and there's days, you know, that you think, shit, I don't know how I'm going to pay the mortgage, you are fully in control of your own destiny. And I think that's what is less stressful. And that stress that you get from other people putting just rubbish demands on you, just goes away. Sometimes, yes, there is a better way than the daily grind. And I think our generation has worked it out. Our generation has worked out that going to work in the same job from 9 till 5 for 45 years, it's not the way to live life. That's not life. You basically making money to go on a holiday, to come back and make money so they can go on another holiday. Like, it's just a cycle of getting away from there every day. But you want to make your everyday something that you love.
And the holiday is just to get away from some shitty job that you don't really want to be at anyway. I'm glad you said that, because that's what I've seen. That's what's been modelled for me. Like, my parents' single income earner was dad, and and that's exactly like, because he's a teacher, and so he's quite heavy on the. When I was going through school, he was like, "Oh, you're going to go to uni," which I didn't. But it was sort of it felt like back then that was the only option. If I didn't go to uni, I was going to just fizzle and die or something. But he's semi-retired now, and he's not really further along than he was. Okay, sure, they own the home, but they're not really further along, and they're not, well off financially and that sort of thing. Like they're, like I just look at them and there has to be a better way than that as well. Like they're just, going into retirement unhappy and without abundant sort of wealth at their disposal, like it just has to be a better way.
And that life is for some people. Some people do want to just have a job and have all of that security, and that's brilliant because we need those people in the world to teach our children and to drive our buses, clean our houses, because some people really love that. That's what they are on this earth to do. But if you get that sense of wanting more, so you're going to your job and all of a sudden it's like, man, this can't be it. I can't have gone and got my degree or my diploma or whatever. Like this can't be it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's working full time in the traditional environment, not for you.
Yeah.
So the next thing we have is filtering. So once you get your giant list, we want to be able to filter it down so we can look at the feasibility of some options, some ones that excite you. And there's a couple of ways to do that, because also that everything on your list is not necessarily going to work. So the first filter is a pretty easy one. It's looking at your list, and you're probably going to see that there's a whole bunch that you think, yeah, okay, I'm not going to love that. And so if you're not going to love it, cross it off. Because you might have started with some that you're like, yeah, I think so. And then when you start to get into it, particularly on the second list, you'll get more and more into it. So those early ones might filter off. So cross off any of those. Or you might look at some and be like, oh, yeah, that's definitely not going to work. Yeah, I love it, but that's not a thing. So I'm going to cross that off too. So cull all that down.
Yeah. Singing to the radio, probably not going to work.
Possibly not. Could be a YouTube sensation. It's hard to say, but maybe not. So then that'll probably cull usually about half to 75% of your list. And then start looking at the others and answer these questions. Number 1 is, will I enjoy pursuing this idea? And I think the easiest way to answer that question is, if nobody paid me to do this, would I still want to do it anyway? So take the fear out of not being able to pay your rent out of it. But it's that thing. Like if I was secure and I had money and nobody was paying me to do this, would I still want to do it? And if the answer is yes, then that's awesome. Do I have the necessary skills and ability to execute this? That's, do I have the necessary skills and ability to execute this? And this one is a tricky question, because as women, we tend to underplay our skills.
Yeah.
I don't know the most in the world about that thing, so no, I don't have the skills. And it's just not true. You know more than the people you're selling to. It's a little bit cheeky, but it happens 95% of the time. I did this course with this guy, and I'm not going to say his name, but he's well known, and I was in the course and I got sucked in to paying to the next course. So I went to the free day, and then I got sucked into paying $4,000 to go to the next course. And he gave me these DVDs or CDs. Like when you signed up, you got these CDs, and his thing was like, you've got to be 80% ready, and then you put it out there and blah, blah, blah. All things that I believe. But I was listening to these CDs, and I had to listen to them in my car, because who has a CD player these days? And I actually know more than this guy about some of these marketing things. I'm like, he's on branding or something, but shit, I've just paid $4,000 and I know more than this guy. And I got to his course, and so first off, I had this sort of, I'm not sure about this when I got to his course. And he just had the ability to sell himself, like so much belief in himself that it was like, oh yeah, I guess I'm getting value out of this. And with him, I did have 10 minutes with him and it was good. Hilarious. Yeah, no, funny story. Anyway, 10 minutes with him. And he said the number one thing I took away from that whole situation was that the biggest danger for women in business is lack of self-confidence. That's our biggest drawback.
Yeah,
and the biggest danger for men is overconfidence.
Yeah, I believe that.
Or that we value the skills and talents and information that we have, because that's our value. Our value isn't what we can give, and our value isn't needing to be the biggest and the best and the whatever. It's, can I help someone else? Can I give value to another human with this information? Do I have enough information to do that? If the answer is yes, then you have the skills.
Yeah. Okay.
And I will get off my soapbox.
Yeah. No, that's actually a really good point you brought up, because that's one thing I actually, in all my pages, here we go. So that's actually something that I actually, because I've put a little observations for activities, the activities that you put forth last night, basically it sort of not addressing that, but sort of questioning, because last year I lost my job. I was unfairly dismissed. I'd been there 9.5 years, and that really shook my confidence, as well as a difficult breakup, even a couple of years ago now. Those things really shook my self-confidence in being like, oh, I'm kind of fed up with people. Do I really feel like I can even deal with people and that sort of thing? Like, so that was actually, I know that I could look at it, or probably, should, not that that's a great word, but I'm going to use it, use it as an opportunity to actually find the right people and career. Like, obviously those people weren't right for me. That career wasn't right for me. That job wasn't right for me. So this, that's an opportunity that I can find things that are right. But the self-confidence was one that all day, like at work, I've been like, ideas, what can I do? What's frustrating me? Like those things. And just straight to the front of my mind, just it kept coming up. Wow, I don't have much self-confidence for this. Like I don't have that sort of belief in myself of, exactly what you were just saying. Like that old mate dude that you were talking about is like, they oversell themselves generally if they're a guy, and undersell if they're a woman, and undervalue financially as well, like putting, a decent fair price on things. Yeah. So that was a big one for me today.
Makes total sense. I'm just going to write self-worth down because that's important. So I say this for you, and I say this to everyone too, because I do know that everyone's watching on the replays, which is great, that with those things that have happened in the past that have battered a little bit of your self-worth, take a look at each one of those situations and just write a list of all the ways that benefited you. I'll say the word again. Yeah. Benefited you. Because if there's like, think into it, feel that emotion, then write down all the ways that you're benefited in that situation, and keep writing until you can't write anymore, and then feel back into it, and you should feel that the charge in that has gone away. And the more you can do that in stuck points in your history, the more moving forward you have the ability to start from a home base of self-worth, not a negative level of self-worth.
Like a clean slate sort of thing.
Just go back and sort of clear it all up so that you can see yourself the way that everybody else does. And I actually had a coach say to me once, just once, just try to see yourself through the eyes of someone else. So that if you can't see your value, pretend to be someone else for a bit. And that was the turning point in my self-worth, when I decided to see myself the way other people did, and not the way that my little mini-me in my head used to talk. She's not so vocal anymore. I've trained her away. So they're two things to really look at for self-worth.
I'm just writing this down.
That's okay.
So when you say that, I think, how would my best friend see me?
Exactly. You know,
because we actually had this conversation the other day, because I was saying, she was actually saying that she says really mean things to herself. And I was like, if I start saying stuff like that to myself, I imagine would I say it to you, as in her, my best friend. And there's no way in hell I would say the stuff to her or to anyone, actually, that I say to myself sometimes. And it's like, whoa, I'm a bit harsh. Like I'm my harshest critic, you know.
So do you remember the movie Babe? The pig,
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a line in that when he's finished doing his thing and the guy goes, "That'll do, pig, that'll do." And I realized that in my head, so whenever I'm doing something, I now make sure that it's not 100% perfect. Perfectionism used to be a blocker for me, but now, no, if it's 80%, then that's cool, or if it's 90%, whatever. And so I'll be doing something, and all of a sudden I'll be like, "That'll do, pig, that'll do." And it's like, should I stop calling myself pig? I'm not sure. It comes from a loving place.
Yeah. It's different then,
It's actually a lot kinder than how I used to talk to myself, so that's good.
Yeah.
But catching that sort of stuff, catching the way you talk to yourself is good. It's do question it, because it is only a habit and a pattern, and you can change.
That's true. Yeah. And
the more that you disconnect from those thoughts, so you realize that they are a habit and they're a pattern and they're not actually you, that they lose their power so fast.
Yeah.
Where did I get
so
to?
do I have the necessary skills and ability?
Where were we? About the necessary skills as well, is that you don't necessarily need to have all the skills. You could outsource it. And with the way the world works now, it's very easy to outsource stuff that you're not good at or you don't love doing, and it's not very expensive. So keep that in mind too. Like, if you don't have the skills 100% for it, then who do you know who would, or who do you know that you could get to do that? And when it comes down to creating your business, if you need help with where you find those people, just find me and I will tell you, because I've been using Upwork now for 4 or 5 years and it's a goldmine. It will change your life.
The background.
Can you hear that? I was kind of hoping you couldn't hear that.
Yeah, what is it?
It's a child. It's not mine.
Okay.
It's in a park and someone is in a park next door.
Okay.
And, a big hotel building at the back where the driveway is as well. So it could be either or. They could be on that.
Right. Okay.
So the next question for filtering out your ideas is, will someone pay for it? So that's pretty key. And it's the same with deciding your target market. I was thinking about this last night after I got off the call, that I would want to have said this as well. And that is, if you know who you want to work with and that they have a problem, it's really important to know if they have the money to pay for it for a start, and also that they know that they have a problem. So I worked with a while, and we had an awesome solution for a really big problem. So it was an alcohol program, and it is the third killer in the world, number 3 killer in the world. And it still is an awesome program, but the fact is that people don't want to stop drinking. Even though it's killing them, they don't want to stop drinking, and they don't want to admit that they have a problem. So we could not sell the program, quite frankly. We could sell a few, but to get to the scale that we needed, they needed to know they had a problem and want to solve it. So it's really important that, will someone pay for it, and do they know that they need it? They might not know right now that they need it if it's something new, like, for example, Uber or something like that. So it's one of those innovation type things. I didn't know 18 months ago that I needed it, but once it was put in front of me, it was like, oh yeah, I need this. I need this in my life. So it doesn't necessarily need to be something that's been done before, but if it is new, the people that you want to sell it to must have an inkling that they want to buy it. Otherwise, it's a wasteland.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so there's a quick marketing lesson. There's a number of categories of how a customer perceives a problem and solution. So they could be, where does it start? They are solution aware. So that means that they know that there is a solution for them, for their problem that they have, and that you provide it. They can be problem aware. So they know that they have a problem, but they don't actually know what their solution is. They can be problem unaware, so that they don't even know that they have the problem yet. And then they can be, there's another one, which is like completely unaware. So not only do they know that they don't have a problem, but they don't even know they want a solution or something like that.
Yeah.
It's that problem.
Yeah.
Well, it's a problem aware people that you want. Because if they haven't started to find a solution, then you can put it in.
Yeah, sure.
And they'll buy it.
Yeah.
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 Quick marketing lesson. So that is all I have for you today.
Okay.
So that is 2 more activities, the mix and match game, and then the good old brainstorming. And then the filtering processes. So looking at your list and crossing off the bunch that you think you don't love or isn't really going to work. And then with those ones that are left, really start thinking about if you want to do that, if you can do that, and then if someone will pay for you to do that.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Now, I'm interested to see for tomorrow, I'm interested to see what work you can do in the next 24 hours to see where we get to with the feasibility, because it's I'll teach you tomorrow the process of it, because you might not be ready to do all of it, but we could do it on 1 or 2 ideas and see if they are feasible or not.
Yeah.
And then you've got
okay.
to move forward for that.
Yeah, sure.
It is great that everyone's keeping up on the replays. That's super exciting. I'm glad that that's happening. And if anyone has any questions, then just pop them in the group for me and I can help you with those as well.
All right.
Do you have any more questions?
Cool. Not so much about the content, but just as a general comment, I'm just wondering, going into my own business, how things like, paying tax and superannuation and do I need an ABN and all of those kinds of things. I'm wondering about that side of business. And if I, as I said, I can't remember what night it was now, but if I want to be able to travel and then work from overseas, am I technically earning dollars outside of Australia? How does all of that work? I'm curious how to.
Definitely need an ABN, and how you choose to do that is up to you. So you can have a personal, what's it called? Sole trader, that's what it's called, which is just you. So it's an ABN and it's just under your name, and you don't need to register a business name or anything like that, but you can earn money under that ABN. You don't need to register for a GST up to $80,000, I think it is. So for the first year or so, you might not want to do that. That's one way to go about it. The other way is to set up a company, and under the company, you then have an ABN. I have a trust and a company. It was all set up by my accountant. So I just said,
Okay,
what's the best way for me to do this? And the reason we did that is for tax purposes. Having a trust and a company is a lot better for income tax. So if you are looking at earning over $80,000, then that's a better way to do it. To set all of that up, it costs, I think, $700 in the beginning. And the main fee of that is to set up with ASIC, the company, with the Australian Security, whatever, Securities Insurance Commission or whatever it is. So for that stuff, I'd highly recommend just chatting with an accountant, and there are a lot of accountants online on Facebook. I actually have a lady who's really good. I might send you her email address. I actually went to school with her, and she's now she does Xero. So all of my accounts and everything are done online in the cloud. And Xero is amazing. It takes your bank feeds. It does all the reconciliation, so much so that it's pretty simple when it comes to tax time. And the other thing I outsource is my bookkeeping. So I used to have a bookkeeper here in Australia. I now actually have a bookkeeper who is in Vietnam, and I pay her $6 an hour, which I gave her a raise from $4 an hour because like, she was just too good. And she was totally over the moon about that.
Oh, God, love her.
She is an Australian registered accountant. She works for an Australian accounting firm, but she lives in Vietnam. So they 100% know all of our tax laws and everything.
Well, okay.
Yeah, and so I pay her $10 a week, basically, in Australian dollars to just check over everything and make sure it's fine. And my accountant is like, man, this girl's on top of things. Yes, she is. She gets it.
Cool.
So getting it set up has some costs involved, but after that, fairly easy. Xero costs $49 a month to do, and you can do it. You can do it yourself. I did it for myself for a while, and then when things started to take off a bit and it needed to be a bit more professional, I got a bookkeeper in.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
However, when I say that too, by the way, setting up the sole trader, it's $90 or something.
Yeah.
So it might be the way to do it first up if money is tight, and then go to the other option later on. But I recommend just having a chat to an accountant, and I'll send you. I'll just introduce you to a lady, and anyone else, if they do want to in Australia, be introduced to her. I'm more than happy, to do that for you.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. Thank you so much for all of that info.
No worries. Oh, and by the way, you did ask another question which I didn't answer, and that is if you are overseas and earning, no, that's not earning overseas. That's still earning here. Okay. Because your business is registered here. And there is a new law about workations, as I like to call them, and I didn't read actually what it was, but up until now, all of my travel has been tax deductible because I've been working. So.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So 6 weeks in the US.
I know. My head just exploded. I'm like, oh.
And that I left a year ago today, so I'm feeling it a bit.
Oh.
So it's pretty good. It's pretty good being a business owner. And so just as an aside to that as well, so my car payments, my fuel, my part of my rent, because I have the office here, like all of that stuff, your will get for you. They'll arrange it. They do the things that they do to make it deductible. So it is worth having someone run an eye over it, because they do know where you can get some benefits. Yeah. Okay. No, that's awesome. Yeah. All right. Cool. Thanks for that info. That's awesome. No worries. My pleasure. Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah. All right. Tomorrow again. Good luck with your homework over the next 24 hours. There's a lot. Yeah. All right. That's awesome. Thanks. I was going to say Steph then. It's twice today I've said Steph instead of the person's name. I go by anything. Jess. Hey, you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Alrighty. Thanks, Jess. Yeah. Bye. Cheers. Bye-bye.